Growing potatoes has great revenue potential, but producing high quality tubers on a large scale poses specific challenges from the preparation of the soil up to harvest, expenditures and revenue, all explained in this video, the part 1, a detailed analysis of potato farming, having a high yield farming. Understanding the choice of soil with favorable growing conditions help you as a farmer to reduce your time and resources, such as applying herbicides, fertilizers, or even pest control. While it can be grown in different soils, the best soil is the sandy soil or a well-drained soil, either a sandy loam soil or a well-drained soil, which is very rich in nutrient. Hence, irrigation or most soil which are filled with great irrigation system is a plus. A soil with a pH level of 5.5 to 6.0 are also suitable. Before we dive into this potatoes farming, how you could start with the ridges where you find here up to the stages of harvest, understand the periods, the times, and the seasons in order for you to start this farming and to be able to make money for yourself and to be independent. Please click on the subscribe button. Please, this is a way of encouraging me to make more educative videos to enlighten you about some knowledge which you don't know or you know, and certain areas you have been lacking in. Nobody starts a farming business without first of all calculating the cost. So please click on the bell button before you for notification, such that you could get all our videos when they are being posted. Also, please do not forget to comment on what you want next, and also share the video, share the videos, encourage others to watch, encourage others to this platform. Thank you for being there. And please don't go anywhere, because in all videos there are always analysis for you to have this result. Are you seeing this potatoes farm, how it is green with no fertilizers involved? What you need to do, the cost, right up to the expected revenue we are going to get from this farm, will all be discussed in this video. So grab your popcorn, take a seat, and your pen and paper to be able to jot down some information. Well, you need it. And thank you for watching. Don't go anywhere as we enter into the cost analysis. Cost analysis of potatoes farming, otherwise known as sweet potatoes. You have the land, we evaluate it based on hectare. We have labor, tillage, understanding the cost, the seeds, also known as the stems here in this, and also irrigation. So these are the four costs. We are going to analyze them one after another for you to understand what will cost you in order to obtain a land, to obtain labor, to obtain the seeds, and finally irrigation for good proper drainage system for a green productivity. This is a green productivity you got right here. So directly, let's just go into the first one, which is land. The cost of a land. Now, understanding the cost of land also permits you know in the number of hectares you will be going in for if actually you desire to do potatoes farming. Understanding if you want a hectare, 2 hectares, or even 100 hectares. Now, before you go into the land, ask yourself this question: am I planting these potatoes for my personal consumption, or am I planting it for commercial purpose? If you're doing it for personal consumption, then even up to a hectare you don't need, or a hectare is enough, but too much you might need to consume it for the whole year. But if you're going in for commercial, potatoes farming, sweet potatoes farming, then you could go in for 2 or more hectares. But for beginners who have little or no knowledge concerning this farm, I will recommend a hectare. Now, a land or a hectare of a land which is a virgin land, a land on leasing, remember you're not buying this land, but a land on leasing, will cost you approximately $40 for a hectare. If you're going in for 2 hectares, it will take you about $80. 3 hectares, $120. 4 hectares, $160. And if you're just going in for 5 hectares, it should be $200. 5 hectares is already large enough because you could harvest up to 20 tons of sweet potatoes. Do you understand what is 20 tons? That is the capacity you can go 20 and above, depending on your level. Now, taking a land on leasing, $40 a year will also bring an opportunity for another cost, which is the cost of clearing. You want to pay people to clear it for you if it's a forest vegetation. For a forest vegetation, you want to pay people to clear it out. But if it's just a grass vegetation or a shrub vegetation, you could directly skip that course and just employ labor on this other course. So for those who are taking the virgin land, which costs about $40 for a hectare, and now you add to implement clearing to pay people to clear for you, then you'll be able to take an additional cost of almost the same amount, which is from at least $25 to $35 for the clearing, giving you an approximate of $75 in the preparation of your farm. But for those with shrub vegetation, come on, skip this part. Skip it, and I'm going to tell you another method that if you've already rented a land on leasing and you want to do potatoes and it's just shrub. Shrub means is below knee level. Your grasses should be below knee levels. Do not have grasses which are above knee level and you're considering it to be shrubs. No, my dear, it is not shrubs there, but it's already a forest vegetation because it will be very thick. And to even do tilling will becomes very difficult. So that is what we have about the land and the total cost. So if you're going in for 1 hectare plus the cost of clearing for those with the forest vegetation, 1 hectare might cost you $75. Multiply it by the number of hectares you are going in for. You're going to know your total cost in which you would incurred. Now, once you have already cleared and all that, or it's just a shrub vegetation, we have what is known as tillage. Otherwise, you could put it as labor, or it's just a planting method, pre-planting method or process. Before the planting method, people always say no, in order to plant potatoes it must be in a form of ridges. Your farm, you should be able to till your farm. If you don't till it, you will not increase productivity, you might harvest less, and you might not obtain this result where you find your potatoes green and your farm green and all that. If you see all my neighbors in this farm, you see that I'm the only one with potatoes right here. The others are with corn, they are with egusi, they are with cassava. But right in the midst of them, I'm seizing out this opportunity to do potato farming. Come on, please do not skip this video. You want to have every detail of it, every detail. Do what others are not doing in order to make a change. The fact that others are doing everything does not mean you must do it. Just come out of it and do something special in order to overtake them when they are not yet watching. So as we are going into tillage, people said before, no, you should be able to till. If you do not till, it cannot be farmed. You must apply tillage. But in our current farm practices right now, you must not do tillage. Yes, but note that tillage increases profitability, increases yield, increases moisture, water for the plants in order for it to grow bigger and bring bigger for just a harvest you're wanting. And these roots you're seeing right here, I'm going to explain into it because it will take us to the third cost. But before going into the third cost, let's analyze the tillage system. In the tillage, you want to pay labor force. People will need to till the farm for you in ridges, in beds, in a good manner in which it will increase productivity, increase your expected harvest. A good tillage should cost you about $60. Either you're employing a tractor or you're doing it manually, it should be able to cost you at least $60 per hectare. It is very costly, why it requires a lot of strength, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of efforts. This is the main thing. If you don't prepare your farm well, you might find that at the end of the day you have nothing to account for. If you're looking very keen to this video, you see that all this farm was done in tillage. See this one here, all is done in tillage, and I did it set by set, set by set. Why did I do it set by set? It's because the cost was also very expensive, and at some point I just had to reduce costs. It means I selected half of the farm, planted it, collected the seeds from the one I've already planted to continue. As far as the farming season is not yet over. Yes, I omitted something about the farming season. No, with sweet potatoes, you can farm, it has a farming season which is very long. That is to say, between the month of March right up to June, you have the opportunity to plant your sweet potatoes depending on your sandy loam soil where it is being found. If you're found in a place where there's high irrigation, the water system there is very good, it also increases your chances of planting right in June. It won't limit it. So $60 for tillage is really costly, but since we're in Africa, you know that your favorite cousin, right? You know that your favorite uncle, auntie. Please just beg on them. Auntie, oh, we have a family meeting this weekend at my farm. Please come and assist me. Let's till this farm. That's what we do. Let's not pretend that's what we do. We grew up in that system that the auntie will call you, come oh, this weekend, everybody to my farm. You need to go there, you need to work, you need to sweat it out. And also during harvest, they must call you to you come and harvest it, even it's a back to go home and eat. Yes, so that's another cost that you you should be able to minimize. Put family members into it. But if you're somebody who's just going in for commercial and you don't want to involve family, understanding the cost and knowing that you need a good tractor to be able to till your farm, or you employ human labor to be able to till your farm, and for your farm to look this way, produce this way. Come on. Yes. Also, it brings us now to the third cost, which is the seeds. Have you seen these roots I'm showing you here? These are the seeds of potatoes. You do not need to go to the market to buy seeds. As you're looking at these seeds here, you cut them and you replant. You are replanting these stems that are here. So as you see this part of my farm that is very green, I can even cut about a quarter in each bed, in each ridges, and just go and replant it elsewhere. If somebody is intending to carry out this farming, can just come to me, and we harvest seeds only from here. Only from these stems which are there, we harvest and we replant. There is nothing like going to the market. No, you have to buy sweet potatoes in bulk to come out and start cutting it like yams, like cocoyams, before you keep it to germinate, before you start planting. No, it's not done that way. Here is just the stem. Come on, look, don't you admire this farm? Ha! We are in May ending, and by June, July, you'll be able to see my harvest. I'm going to show you my harvest. Obviously, I planted some few corn. I will not beg for corn this year. I'll be able to sit down and eat corn too after harvest potatoes. Ah, My neighbors cannot plant corn and finish, and I see only potatoes. I must drop those corn one, two, three. I will roast them and eat like never before. While also having potatoes. Corn is good, but note that you must have a good place to store corns that were planted this season. Why? Because it will need a high place to keep. You must need storage. If you don't have a good storage system, forget about it. I will not recommend it. So the seeds cost low, very low, about $10 or below. You see these ones which are freshly planted here. I've just put the seeds. It's not up to a week. It's not up to a week. And also, recently I just put in some also fresh corn to harvest that late September corn. The corn that you have to harvest before you just clear the farm in order to plant the next batch. That is it we find here, and everything you wish to know. Come on, see my farm. Look how clean, look how beautiful. This is less than 2 weeks. This side here is less than 2 weeks, while this other side is more than a month. You can see the difference for yourself. You can see the growth, you can see the changes, and how everything is going. You don't want to miss out on it or on everything. Now, irrigation system also are very necessary and require. Why? You must have a moist soil. The soil must be moist. Once it's moist, it gives the ability for your potatoes to be as fat as your leg. Your potatoes should be as big as your loving heart. Your potatoes should be as charming as the Prince of England. Come on, whatsoever thing that will make your potatoes grow very well, enter very well, that is what you're going to do. In this place you see here, it is highly irrigated, and it's, let me not even say use the word irrigated, it is in a high moisture environment. It's very soft. In the subsequent video, you're going to see I'm even walking on. It's as if I put my leg, I will just swim inside. There's a lot of water there because potatoes also need lots of water for it to grow big. It needs lots of water for it to grow big. So these were the total costs in which we were to farm. We had land, we had tillage, we had seed, and we had irrigation. Irrigation for a land which is not moist could go right up to $75. So quickly, let's analyze what would be the total cost if actually our land was a hectare and we have $40 and our tillage was $60. Our seeds were $10 or below or even zero, and our irrigation went right up to $75. Would you still farm this? Would you want to know how to harvest it, the number of months it takes, and how much you could make for it if it goes in your country or not? Well, please stay tuned to the part 2 of this video. I would have taken longer, but we need more. Please do not forget to subscribe, like, share my videos, share my videos. I love you guys so much. Share my videos, and part 2 we'll be talking about the revenues. The revenues. I really don't like making too long videos which are too long. So this will just be the part 1, which is the cost analysis, and in the part 2, which will be coming up subsequently, we'll look at the revenue, how much you're expected to make from a hectare of land of potatoes. Until then, it's been your host, Magdalene. Thank you for watching.